Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Welcome to the regular monthly meeting of the Board of Commissioners held for the purpose of transacting the general business of the Township. Today's date is January 8th, 2020. The meeting is being held in the Springfield Township building. Please stand and join the Board of Commissioners in a moment of silent reflection honoring the servicemen and women who place themselves in harm's way in order to help preserve our safety at home and overseas. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I believe we are in full complement tonight and have no substitute professionals. There's some announcements. The Board of Commissioners conducted, I'm sorry, yeah, I skipped over that, I'm sorry. So first of all, let me entertain a motion dispensing with the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting as written and recorded in the official minute book of the Township. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Please record a unanimous vote. Okay, back to the announcements. So, the Board of Commissioners conducted an executive session meeting on January 6, 2020 as a part of the regularly scheduled workshop meeting on that date to discuss one personnel matter and one property matter. Okay, so now we are in the public portion of the meeting. The board is now open to comments or questions from the public. The board draws particular attention to those items listed on the agenda this evening. Please be advised that once the committee reports begin, the board can no longer accept questions from the floor. At the conclusion of the committee reports, public comments will once again be accepted. However, official action on those issues listed on the agenda will have already taken place. Therefore, if you wish to comment on an agenda item, now would be the appropriate time. Any comments or no? Okay. So next, I'm going to announce the committee reports. This is the committee chairs and liaison assignments, I'm sorry to say. Yeah. For Planning Commission, liaison to the Planning Commission, and the head of the Community Development Committee will be myself. Jeff Harbison will be the head of the Internal Affairs and Library Committee and liaison to the Library Advisory Committee. Peter Wilson will be head of the Cultural and Environmental Resources Committee and liaison to the Environmental Advisory Commission. Vice President Eddie Graham will be head of the Parks and Recreational Resources Committee and liaison to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. Mike Maxwell will be the head of the Public Safety Committee and liaison to the Emergency Services Committee. John Cobb will be the head of the Zoning Committee and liaison to Zoning Hearing Board. And finally, Jim Lee will be head of the Public Works and Facilities Committee and liaison to Shade Tree Commission. Next, it is with great pride that I announce that the Board of Commissioners of Springfield Township recently received the Chestnut Hill Conservancy Preservation Award for the creation of the Township's Historic Resources Overlay District Ordinance. The Historic Resources Ordinance is intended to promote, protect, and facilitate the preservation of resources of historic significance and to preserve the historic values in the township environment. The ordinance also allows owners of historically significant buildings access to more flexible zoning regulations in exchange for a higher obligation to maintain the exterior appearance of their property. And that being said, I wanted to show you what our award looks like. I don't know, Ron, if you can zoom in on that. Really, really nice. We're going to hang this somewhere. And then over to the right of Brandon is a really nice placard that the Conservancy put together announcing this and explaining what it's all about. And we're going to hang that I don't know if we've made a final determination, either they're going to be out in the hall here or maybe over in the library, but it'll be, in full view of the public, so, anyway. And following up on that, I am then going to announce that the Historic Resources Overlay District Ordinance adds a new chapter to the Township Code entitled Historic Resources, which establishes the Springfield Township Historical Commission. Members of the commission are charged with preparing and maintaining a list of properties eligible for listing in the township's Historic Resources Inventory, among other duties. So we're inviting people to, form a 5-man commission to basically oversee this new endeavor. The Board of Commissioners is accepting resumes and letters of interest through the end of the month from those individuals who are interested in serving as a volunteer member of the Springfield Township Historical Commission. The Historical Commission is composed of 5 members and 1 alternate member. Members must be either a resident of the township or the operator of a business in the township. Those residents who meet one or more of the following qualifications are particularly encouraged to apply: a registered architect with at least 5 years of experience with historic preservation, an architectural historian, a member of the Board of Directors of the Springfield Township Historical Society, a member of the Township Planning Commission, an operator of a business in the township, and any other person with sufficient knowledge or interest in the field of historic preservation. Letters of interest should be submitted to Michael Taylor, our township manager. So we look forward to interviewing people who are interested in doing that. Okay. We're going to get on with our committee reports, and first I'm going to call on Commissioner Harbison, the head of our the head of our Internal Affairs and Library Committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. The bill listing, which is item 4 on the agenda. I move that the Board of Commissioners approve the December check reconciliation in the amount of $1,102,410.37 and the January bill listing in the amount of $458,506.11. That is my motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay.
Okay, please record a unanimous vote in favor.
Thank you. My second matter, which is item 5 on the agenda, pertains to Acme Markets. In March of 2014, Acme Markets entered into a conditional licensing agreement with the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board for the transfer of a restaurant liquor license for use at its store located at 1640 Bethlehem Pike in Flourtown. The license was transferred from a location in Cheltenham Township, which necessitated the approval of the Board of Commissioners of Springfield Township. As part of that approval process, the Board of Commissioners imposed a prohibition on the sale of alcoholic beverages for on-premises consumption prior to 10 a.m. However, the PLCB recently issued an advisory notice that requires all retail license holders, such as Acme, to offer alcoholic beverages for sale on-premises consumption at all times when those beverages are available for off-premises consumption. Accordingly, Acme Markets has requested that the Board of Commissioners to reconsider the earlier prohibition that was placed on the sale of alcoholic beverages for on-premises consumption. On Monday evening, the Board received a presentation from counsel from Acme Markets, who indicated that the on-premises consumption of beer and wine constitutes less than 1% of Acme's alcoholic beverages sales. So to put that in a little more succinctly, this is basically a technical correction to their license. There's a period where they don't allow on-premises consumption, and that the LCB has said if you're selling it to go, you got to sell it to stay. But what they tell us is it shouldn't change anything, that less than 1% of their alcohol sales in their other stores is for on-premise. So this isn't to encourage people to go running around the store drinking wine while they shop. This is just what they have to do to make to align up with the LCB, and we don't really recognize that this will be anything that people would notice. Therefore, I move that the Board of Commissioners authorize the First Amendment to the conditional licensing agreement between Acme Markets and the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board for license number R2124 by removing Section 6B of the agreement in order to permit Acme Markets to sell both beer and wine for on-premises consumption during all hours in which Acme Markets is selling beer and wine for off-premises consumption. All other terms of the agreement will remain in effect. That is my motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Please record a unanimous vote.
Thank you, and that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Harbison. Next, we will hear from Commissioner Wilson, the Chairman of the Cultural and Environmental Resources Committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have two items tonight. The first is the recycling report. Pleased to report that during the month of December 2019, Springfield Township residents recycled 212.79 tons of materials with a householder participation rate of 84.6%. The net cost for the month was $19,251.07. For the year ending 31st, 2019, residents recycled a total of 2,207.41 tons of materials, which was 96.1% of the projected tonnage to be recycled. On a weekly basis, approximately 79.2% of the townships participated in the recycling program. My second item is renewable energy certificates. In January 2019, Springfield Township adopted Resolution 1469, becoming the first municipality in Montgomery County to publicly commit to the transition to 100% clean and renewable energy. Clean and renewable energy is defined as carbon-free and pollution-free energy generated substantially from wind, solar, small hydro, tidal, or geothermal sources. The Pennsylvania Municipals League, through its Municipal Utility Alliance program, has obtained pricing through a competitive bid process for the purchase of clean and renewable energy. As a member of the Pennsylvania Municipal League, Springfield Township is eligible to purchase electricity through the Municipal Utility Alliance program. Therefore, I move that the Board of Commissioners of Springfield Township authorize the execution of a 12-month contract with Constellation Energy for the purchase of 100% clean and renewable energy at a fixed rate cost of 0.6065 cents per kilowatt hour. The total cost of the contract is estimated to be $40,153.94, or $567.57 more than electricity obtained through traditional generating sources, based upon the township's most recent 12-month period. Prior to executing the contract, the Constellation Energy, the contract must be in a form acceptable to the township solicitor's office. That is my motion.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Please record a unanimous vote.
And that concludes my reports, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Wilson. Next, we will hear from the Chairman of the Parks and Recreation Resources Committee, Commissioner Graham.
Thank you, Mr. President. Though I don't have a report for the Parks and Recs Committee this evening, I do have an announcement concerning the celebration and service day of Martin Luther King's birthday. And the Cheltenham NAACP, which that branch also includes the Township of Springfield Township, we will be having a cleanup day on the routes of Paper Mill Road and Route 309, starting at 10 a.m. on Martin Luther King's birthday. We'll be cleaning up the exit ramps. The Cheltenham branch will be honoring the memory of the late Bishop David and Catherine Graham, who were local legends in Philadelphia and Montgomery counties. Both were very active in the civil rights movements in Philadelphia, and they served our community in many capacities, from marching for equality, planning in the Girard College protests and civil rights initiative, including feeding the homeless from their own church-based ministries. That will be between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. right here under the bridge at Paper Mill Road and Route 309. That evening, we will be convening at the Arcadia University at 7 p.m. in the Great Commons Room at the university at 450 Southeastern Roads. Actually, this will be a follow-up to the diversity and inclusion meetings that the township sponsored earlier last year, and we will be discussing the school to prison pipeline. We will have panelists from the the Montgomery County Public Defender's Office, along with the CEO, Chad Lassiter, from the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commissions, along with School Superintendent Dr. Marcel from Cheltenham, and representatives from the Montgomery County Police Chiefs Association. So please, if you can be able to attend either one of those events. The first part will be helping to keeping our community clean, and the second part, as in Dr. King's initiatives, will be addressing the issues of diversity and inclusion in our communities. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner Graham. Okay, next we will move on to the Chairman of the Public Safety Committee, Commissioner Maxwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have one item this evening in regards to Paper Mill Road School Zone. In August 2019, the Board of Commissioners of Springfield Township adopted Resolution Number 1479, authorizing an application to the Montgomery County Transportation Program to fund the installation of school warning signals on Paper Mill Road in front of the Springfield Township middle and high schools. The township's application was approved by Montgomery County earlier this year in the amount of $79,072, and will fund 100% of the estimated cost of the construction activities associated with the project, together with a local match in the amount of $19,768 for design and engineering. Therefore, I move that the Board of Commissioners of Springfield Township authorize the execution of a grant agreement with the Montgomery County Planning Commission to fund the installation of school zone warning signals and radar speed display signs along Paper Mill Road near Springfield Middle School and Springfield High School. That is my motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Please record a unanimous vote.
That concludes my report for this evening.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Maxwell. Next, we will hear from the Chairman of the Zoning Committee, Commissioner Cobb.
Thank you, Mr. President. A public hearing will be held on Monday, January 27th at 7 p.m. in this building, Springfield Township Building, 1510 Paper Mill Road in Winmore, PA. The first petition will be for 1110 Willow Grove Ave, LLC, 910 East Willow Grove Avenue, Winmore, PA. They're requesting the following relief in order to permit the alteration of a former church dormitory rectory building located at 1110 Willow Grove Ave from a variance from section 114-61 to permit a medical treatment office. The above relief is necessary in order to renovate the former church rectory building located in the B residential zoning district for use as a medical treatment office. The second petition will be for Laboratory Corp of America Holdings from 69 First Avenue, Raritan, New Jersey. We're requesting the following zoning relief in order to permit the placement of 7 additional signs at the existing Walgreens store located at 1456 Bethlehem Pike in Flourtown. A variance from section 114-144 and to permit the installation of 6 facial signs measuring 29.78 square feet in total, in addition to the 4 existing facial signs measuring 183.55 square feet. And variance from section 114-144
to permit the installation of one projecting sign measuring 7.33 square feet in addition to an existing ground sign. The above relief is necessary in order to advertise the LabCorp office within the Walgreens store located in the B1 Business Zone District. With respect to the petition submitted by LabCorp of America, I move that the Board of Commissioners of Springfield Township authorize the Office of the Township Solicitor to represent the interests of the Board of Commissioners in opposition to the petition seeking multiple variances in order to place additional signage at the existing Walgreens pharmacy located at 1456 Bethlehem Pike, or to otherwise negotiate a sign package acceptable to the Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Commissioner.
That's a motion.
Is that a motion? I'm sorry. Do I hear a motion? Or do I hear a second? I'm sorry.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Please record a unanimous vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. That's my report.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Cobb. And next, we will hear from the Chairman of the Public Works and Facilities Committee, Commissioner Lee, and I just want to also say, I want to welcome aboard, sorry, there you are. This is Jim Lee's first meeting, and so welcome aboard, and you have a report?
Great. Thank you, Mr. President. I do not have a report this evening.
Okay, thank you. So that concludes our committee reports. The board is now again open to comments or questions from the public. Please, would you kindly step up and then give us your name and address, please?
I'm kind of short. My name is Sonia Patrick, and I'm not a township resident. I am a recruiter with the United States Census Bureau, and I would like to make the announcement that the U.S. Census Bureau is hiring about 1,000 temporary employees to conduct the 2020 census. 1,000 employees in Montgomery County, that is, and we need over 5,000 applicants in the county in order to meet our recruiting goals. We're primarily hiring census takers in Montgomery County. The pay for that position is $27 an hour, and it does also include mileage reimbursement. The selection process has already begun, and will continue on a rolling basis through mid-March. I would like to thank the Township Administration for the assistance that we've already received in promoting our efforts. Thank you, Brandon, and ask that we appreciate if you could continue that for us in communicating with your township residents that these jobs are indeed available. And if any of you are business owners in public-facing businesses and you are willing to assist us with distributing and displaying promotional recruiting materials, we would appreciate that as well. Thank you very much.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. If to apply as a census taker in Montgomery County, do you have to be a resident of Montgomery County?
Oh, no. Well, what happens is when you apply, we use your zip code in order to place you within your county as close to your own home as possible.
Okay, and so now where would
stepped away from the mic.
and where would people go to interview or?
The application is on the web is on the internet. The website is 2020censusjobs.gov I'm sorry, 2020census.gov/jobs, JOBS.
Great.
Thank you.
Can we send out a blast on that? Because I know they're short, they're not getting the responses that they want, and it'll be our civic duty. Census is...
Sure. Yeah. And I'm also proud to...
People will get that. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I'm also proud that as the political chair for the Cheltenham NAACP, we have partnered with the census for 2020, and if you go to the Cheltenham NAACP link, go to our post, there is a link that'll take you right to the application process.
Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Good night.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
I have one quick comment.
Okay.
As customary every January, unfortunately I didn't get a chance to get them here, the young ladies of the Springfield Township Service Unit Girl Scouts will be starting their annual cookie sale this coming Thursday. No? Next Thursday. Okay, next Thursday. Which I could say our police department greatly appreciates the donations they receive from the Girl Scouts when the sales are concluded. I just asked the people in the community, when the girls are out in our shopping markets, hardware stores, stop by, say hi to them, and try to support them any way you can. They do a good job at it, and they learn a lot through the process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We were just talking about the weight gain during the holiday season, and now
Yeah, I know.
now we're going to contend with the
Now
Girl
the
Scout
maintenance
cookies.
phase.
Okay, any more questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, I'd like to entertain a motion to close the meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we are adjourned.
There you go.
And then we'll do a photo.
Thank you. Done that for a while.
So who